What's up, man?
What's going on, my friend? You doing okay?
Yeah, man, I'm chilling. That's cool. Yeah, I've already filmed with a few authors, a couple paranormal investigators, but you were definitely the first filmmaker.
Oh, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you having me on here.
Oh, no worries at all. No worries at all.
So,
So let me ask real quick.
yeah,
What first got you into the horror game? Like, why the horror genre? Because spookiness is like it's interesting, right?
yeah. Um, Mom and pop VHS stores, man. When I was a kid, uh, we would go to the rental store, and it wasn't like Hollywood Video or Blockbuster Video. It was
Right.
just like a regular mom and pop store, like Randy's Videos or something.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we would go, my mom would always say you can pick out 1 to 2 movies, and she never cared what I picked out. She didn't like stand over my shoulder or ever look at anything I put on the counter. She was just like, if you can handle it, then you can watch it.
Right.
And which was different than a lot of parents, but I would go straight to the horror section. It was the scary covers that would just grab me, and I got to where like literally I would just look for the scariest cover and say, "Hey, well, that has to be a step up from the last one." And before you know it, like I had watched all these films that I would hear grown people say that they couldn't handle.
Yeah, it's crazy because some of them get crazy, especially when you get more into like the indie kind of horror
Oh
section. Oh
yeah,
my god, like they get creative with their shit.
for sure. Especially the late '80s stuff, the early '90s stuff. Man, they were doing some really crazy stuff, and I just fell in love with it, man. I loved them. I wasn't like a lot of kids or like my cousin who would have like nightmares from them. I never had nightmares. I just, if anything, like I was so intrigued. That's when I started. I didn't know this back then, but that's when I started becoming a filmmaker because I would look at things like the lighting and the music and the buildup of how these things are cut together and editing. And I looked at it from a different perspective, not just watching them, but watching how they were made. And as I got older, I realized I had been studying them and was ready to do it myself.
Right. Let's introduce you really quick. So you're Hunting the Dead.
Yes.
I love that. I saw your YouTube channel recently too. I was like, I thought I saw your face somewhere, so I was like, that's a spooky coincidence or something, right? I'm like,
Excuse
you
me.
look super familiar.
Yeah, I have
You've
a
been doing
my
this for
main
a while,
channel
man.
is Hunting the Dead. Yeah, I do paranormal stuff on there, scary videos. I've been doing that for a long time, and that really kind of helped jumpstart this thing majorly as far as like funding went. Because YouTube, when it took off for me, it took off like a rocket, and life changed overnight. And I came from working at a funeral home to like the same month I was working at a funeral home, I was planning on quitting YouTube, and I'm sitting at a table in Colorado. I had just got done investigating the Stanley Hotel,
Hmm.
and I'm like, I'm thinking this is probably going to be my last investigation. That I'm going to go full time at this funeral home because they offered me a really good job, and I had like 1,000 subscribers, and I'm sitting at this table, and all of a sudden I had like 3 videos go viral at once, and I came from like 1,000 subscribers within 6 hours to like 14,000.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden it went to 20,000, then it went to 34,000, and I was like, "Oh my god, like
That's
what's happening?"
crazy.
And like I didn't know what that meant yet. Like I just knew that okay, something's happening and it's probably going to be life changing, but I didn't realize. And like 2 weeks later, I get my first big YouTube check, and I
Hmm.
quit my job at the funeral home, and I've been my own boss ever since. So
I love that, man. That's fucking awesome. Like that's the dream, honestly. That's fucking so cool to me. Like seeing people do what they love, like that's different.
thank
You know
you.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is. It not only changed my life, but it changed my family's life, and now it's
Of
changing other
course.
people's life too. I'm putting a lot of people to work in the movie business, and actors and production, and paying people for locations, and then also promoting businesses and people. So Yeah,
Right.
it's been an amazing roller coaster, man.
That's so cool, man. Let me ask, do you remember the first horror movie you ever saw?
Child's Play. Yes,
Really?
Chucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the original?
Yeah, the original, the first one, I loved it, and then following that was like all the Friday the 13th movies that
Mm,
were available.
yeah.
Then the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and then I started going off the beaten path and started looking at things that are like were frowned upon for children to watch, like Slumber Party, Massacre, a lot of films, like even banned films. Like I literally went through the curtain and I would grab something and be like, I hope my mom doesn't know what I just grabbed. And I'd throw it on the counter and I'd go home and I'd watch it in my room and nobody knew different.
Yeah, some of those ones are like the best picks too. I think my generation, I'm 27, so my generation I feel like was the last generation to kind of have that blockbuster experience where you like go through for like $7, you get to pick out a couple movies and then return them a week later. You know,
Yeah, I'm glad you got to experience that, man,
I
because
am too, man.
you guys really only got a little taste of it. You kind of caught it like
Right.
right before it went out the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so
So,
cool.
yeah, that was the beginning of the spiral.
Mhm. I love that. Was there a specific film or filmmaker that inspired you to like make Don't Go on the Trail? Because that's your first movie, right?
Yeah. You know, n- especially at that time, no, like there were people that I liked, but I would say that like when I really started getting inspired by like other film makers,
Yeah.
was like probably after Don't Go on the Trail. Whenever I seen, see, I made this movie in 2012,
Mhm.
and then I went on what would seem to a lot of people a bit of a hiatus. I didn't walk away from filmmaking, but I took. It would appear that I took a long break, but during that time, just going down like the rabbit hole, like I watched the Hatchet movies, and I fell in love with like Adam Green, who produces those films, who wrote and directed them.
Mhm.
Hatchet films are great in my opinion. And then he did a movie called Frozen. It's not the kitty Frozen that we all know of. It's actually a
Right.
really scary one where people are trapped in the middle of nowhere in the cold weather. And then Rob Zombie, dude, like everything Rob Zombie's done except for the Halloween movies, like I'm pretty much a fan of.
Yeah.
I love what Rob Zombie has done. So then there's some other people too, like like I love what Damien Leone has done. Of course, he's done a phenomenal job. Um,
That's
but
the vibes I get from you is
Parker Finn.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like with my blood and gore and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For those that aren't like familiar with your films, like how would you describe them? Like we've only spoken today, so I haven't really gotten a chance to check out all your stuff yet, but how would you describe your movies? Like your horror? Like is it kind of like more like a terrifier kind of horror? Like is there a horror villain or is it more like a supernatural kind of thing?
Um, Without describing each one, I would say that you're always going to get like the elements of horror in each film, as far as like what you're going to see in like a splatter film. And what that would be you're going to get blood, gore, you're going to get lots of violence, you're probably going to get sex, drugs, rock and roll. You're going to get everything mixed up into a cauldron that I like to see in horror films myself. I
Right.
love films that are over the top. I want to see a little bit of all that stuff. But
Of course.
you know, when it comes to my films, what makes them unique is, and I'm not like, I don't mean this in an arrogant way, but like, I've owned 3 recording studios in my life. I'm, a professional with a camera and editing and lighting. I score all the
Right.
music for these films. I've won awards for best special effects in a horror film. So like, I literally do everything in my films. And when you watch them, you would think there's an entire production team, and there's not. Like,
And you're independent, which is crazy.
yeah, I mean, dude, just this film alone, Not only did I write it and direct it, film it, edit it, do all the lighting, score all the music, design this cover, but I won an award for best special effects in a horror film, and that was like a worldwide film festival. That wasn't like a state to
That's
state thing.
crazy.
That was like thousands of people submitted for that, and I fucking got it.
That's why I say I get like Leon vibes from you because I think what was his budget on All Hallows Eve? Like his first terror, I think it was like 15 grand. Like
Yeah, the short films,
it's
I know
crazy.
it wasn't much for sure. But then he met Phil Falcone, and Phil's a nice guy. We've talked several times. He actually, like Damien said to him, he needed like 190 grand to make the first Terrifier movie, and he was like, "Well, shoot, man." He was like, He said, "That's not much. I'll give it to you," because Phil was thinking he was going to say something like 800 grand or a million,
Yeah.
and so yeah, Phil put up that money, and they did it,
He made
and
that
they
shit
make a
work.
hell of a team, man.
Yeah. I love all those movies. Any kind of like subgenre of like those horror movies, like the indie version. Yeah, for sure. They're all dope.
Yeah, I just see this guy in the chat here, Douglas. He said Robert Rodriguez. He was another filmmaker that I definitely looked up to because he was doing it independent as well.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. And I could definitely see you being like on up there with them too. You know what I mean?
Thank
Because
you,
it
man.
seems like you're already damn near there. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I
How
mean,
many films do you have? 4, 5?
I have I have 4 completed feature films. 3 of them are on TV right now. They're on Prime. The only one that hasn't been accepted by Prime due to its name is Cop Killer.
Hmm.
Which is funny because it's not about a giant killing penis. It's about a guy in a cop costume, a chicken costume. But
Yeah.
they have a problem with the name. But it looks like it might be going on Tubi and Screamify.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah,
They got a lot of good indies on there too.
they
On
do.
Tubi.
They do. They make it rain, man. But I'm in production right now on my biggest film. Biggest budget film. I believe it's going to go to 500 theaters worldwide. Um,
Really? Any in
it's called.
Vegas? That's where I'm at. I would
I
definitely go to the
hope
screening and
so,
like do a
man.
review on it. That'd be crazy.
Dude, I would love that. I know that I'm trying to I'm trying to get in bed with the distributor that did the Terrifier stuff. Cineverse. I want them to back it. I want them to be
Yeah.
behind it. We'll see what happens, but I will say that the Clownjuring is the highest caliber thing I've done yet. I mean, it's just over
Really?
the top. It's like if the Devil's Rejects and Terrifier had a baby, it would be the
Wow.
Clownjuring. So
That's actually a crazy way to put it because those are like two of my favorite two-way movies, like Rob Zombie's The Devil's
nice.
Rejects, and oh my god, that'd be crazy.
Yeah,
How do
man.
you balance like the psychological part of like horror with like the gore? I always wonder that with like horror filmmakers.
Yeah, usually I notice like you can have your cake and eat it too for sure, but like I
Yeah.
notice a lot of guys they usually go one way or another, and with me like being a special effects makeup artist on top of all these things, like when I'm writing the scripts, I think to myself, how can I incorporate those skills into like every big kill scene? So
Right.
it's a little tough incorporating like the right amount of psychological, the right amount of effects. So, you get it throughout a whole film, but like I would say the overkill in my films, and I think it's gladly accepted is the
Of course.
exaggerated blood and gore.
Yeah.
So, I do some
That's
pretty
crazy.
crazy stuff, in the first 10 minutes of Cock Killer, um somebody gets their face ripped off, and they get other things ripped off, and
Mhm.
it's pretty intense, and most of my films are like that, dude. They open up with a big bang, and it brings you in right away, and I try and write it to where it's like you don't get comfortable too long. Like you might chill for a minute, but don't get too comfortable because another kill's coming. So
Yeah. Because I always find myself when I'm watching those kind of horror movies is like any kind of like little scene where it's kind of wholesome almost. Like there just might be just like even if it's not meant to be wholesome, they're just driving somewhere and they're just kind of laughing and joking. But then
yeah.
something crazy is about to happen. Yeah.
I do have a film that I start filming summer of next year. It's called The Devilry, and that one's got more psychological to it. That's like
Really?
my first film that's like the way I've been describing it to people is like a psychological demonic horror slasher.
Wow.
So,
That's
but that
interesting.
one's more mind games and like slow burn style.
Right. That's interesting, man. And you said the Clownjuring is gonna be your I see it. I do see a lot of buzz around that one. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. Like that's crazy. And that's your shit. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah,
that's wild.
I actually it's funny, dude, like the way that film came about is there's a new gentleman that just started a new network called Screamify, and they're starting to take off actually. And he had talked to me about doing an original for their network, and he was like, "Dude, I like wire you money like this week," and
Hmm.
I was like, I usually I produce my own stuff. That's another thing you don't see a lot of indie horror people doing. Like I've never asked anybody for a dime.
Yeah, I don't think I can name one because I watch a lot, like of a lot of horror. So I can't even think of one that's actually done the writing, the scoring, the production. I can't. Other than
Yeah,
I think Damien Leone did a lot of that stuff, but I think even he had like a lot of help too.
yeah, he had somebody score his music, and I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I score all my films, dude. Like
which is badass.
everything you hear in my films, like I produce on piano, guitar. I have a recording studio in my office. I have a recording studio at home. I mean, all I do is work, bro. Like even as I talk to you right now, like I'm riding on fumes and I got to be on set tomorrow filming like 8 to 10 scenes.
Oh
So,
shit.
I don't ever have days off, but I mean that's how I'm getting stuff done too is, I it's like there's only so many hours in the day, and I just I have like an hour or two at night I get to spend with my kids, and I make the most of that, and then it's back to
Right.
the grind.
Hell yeah. But I think you're gonna see like when it's all said and done in like 50 years or whatever, you're gonna look back and see your whole catalog of shit. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy.
I think so, man, because like I've done just these three films in 3 years, and then I just released "Don't Go on the Trail" on DVD officially. So, like, these
Hmm.
are just the full length feature films I've done so far. But I've also done like a handful of short films that have won in every category. I did a short film last year, bro, that aired in Germany and won best zombie horror film in Germany when there were people in Germany that made their horror films in Germany, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I made it in like
Yeah.
Georgia.
Which is
Um,
crazy.
yeah, so I've done a lot of stuff. I
Is
just
that
now
where Cot Killer got banned in Germany?
it got banned worldwide. It's like no streaming service that wants it. I'm hoping that Tubi accepts it, man. Like we just submitted it last night, and dude, I really hope that they give me the green light. And the only thing that sucks about it is like I have to give it away for free, as like stuff on Tubi, it's free to
Yeah.
watch. And the way
Hmm.
they pay on Tubi is like how YouTube pays. Like they pay through watch time.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I can live with that. That's fine. But I can't be doing that with multiple films. So I'll probably never go in the direction of like naming something too raunchy ever again.
Yeah, right.
Kind of
But
learned a little
even
bit of a
that, like
lesson.
you can tell, like looking at the cover and stuff, you can tell it's not about like a dick.
Eh, Bro, they are so sensitive. It's unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. What's
You
the
got some
hardest
cool people
practical
in your
effect?
chat here.
Yeah, they're chilling. They're chilling. It's all the homies.
Nice, nice. Ruby, Douglas, Roxy. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
listening, man. This is
of course, man. We're excited.
yeah, absolutely, dude. What about you though? I know that I know you're talking to me here, but I'm just curious. Like, do you have a favorite horror film?
Halloween,
Nice.
the original though, yeah. But any of the
Ooh,
Halloween ones, honestly.
okay.
But yeah, that's for sure my favorite. Like by far.
Yeah.
Second favorite, like franchise, would probably be my top three franchises in the horror film would probably be Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then the Terrifier movies.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good lineup, man. Um mine will probably surprise you. The Wrong Turn franchise is my number one. I'm a
Ooh,
huge Wrong Turn fan.
those are good.
It's actually my dream to write for that franchise. I've even messaged like the guy who owns the rights to it so many times, and I'm like, dude, I'll write the script for free. Like, you have nothing to lose. Like, let me write the script and see how you feel. Um, Wrong Turn franchise number one for me. Hills Have Eyes,
Damn.
and then Smile Two.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn, you're making me rethink my answer. You said Hills of Eyes. That's crazy. You got taste. That's like unorthodox answers too. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's those are ones that I feel like kind of fit my style in some way, shape, or form. And then of course the Terrifier stuff. I'd say what's different, like with Damien's stuff. Obviously, they have bigger budgets than what I'm doing. Like, I think Terrifier 3. I
Oh, it
might
was
be
like
mistaken, but Phil told me it was made on like 800 grand.
I think it was more than that.
I think it was more than that once.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it took 800 grand to make it, but then it took like another 1.2 million to get it to go to
Yeah.
theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they ended up spending like 2 million, and then it made over 100. But
Yeah.
my average film cost 10,000 to make, and I mean, you know, in 3 years we've done over a half a million in just DVD sales, and
Just crazy, man.
so I mean, we're doing them on lower budgets, but we're still having a big impact. And
Oh yeah. And I think those are the movies, those franchises, like your franchise. What's your studio name again?
Dean's Haunted Mansion Film Studios.
Nice. Yeah, I think those kind of. I think a lot more people gravitate to those kind of studios for sure.
I've always gravitated to the people that do it with bare bones, man, because you get more creative when you don't have a relentless amount of money at your disposal. And also,
Right.
like, I'll hear people say they make indie horror films and then they're like the budget's 2 million. I don't When I hear that, that's just brain rot to me. Like, I'm like, how the
Yeah.
hell can you call yourself indie and you got 2 million? Like, we're really doing indie horror
It's
films.
like grassroots filmmaking, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, at least like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was made on like 100 grand. Like,
Yeah.
that's still indie, but I don't
hmm
know. Once you say an M, man, it's like you're out of the range of calling yourself indie.
Or really more than 500,000. I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
It starts to feel a little commercial at that point. I
It
mean,
does, right? Mainstream
yeah,
almost.
when you got that kind of money, you can just throw it at a problem and make the problem go away. But
Exactly.
when you don't have that, you really come up with creative ways to make what you have better. And you'll see a lot of indie horror films. They'll throw a drone shot in like the beginning of them just to add some production value because they don't have much money, and they're like, well, at least this makes it look like we have money.
Right. Yeah. I think with indie horror films, you gotta everything that you do has like a purpose. It's almost like you're painting. Like everything in a painting has a purpose. Like every stroke
Right.
was meant for something. I look at it kind of similar to that.
I like that. That's 100% true, man, for sure. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love our formula. I don't plan on changing it. I will say that The Clownjuring is the first movie that I've spent 17 grand making, which it looks like when you finally see it, anybody finally sees it, I think a lot of people would probably think we spent a $500,000 making it, but no, it's just I put so much work into it. I basically I put up the money for these films and I make them, but I never pay myself. Like, I live off of YouTube money. I have a retro game store in Dothan, Alabama. I have an app that's called Scaranoia app. It's like one of the scariest apps in the world. People use it all over to go on adventures. It's like Randonautica.
hmm
Um, I live off other means, dude. Like, all the money I've made from the films, I've never paid myself one time. It goes
It'll get there,
right back
man.
into everything. So
I know it's like an investment, but
yeah,
I can see how the way that you're going. I think a lot more people are going to gravitate to that because You'd be surprised. You're gonna end up like a household name in like 5 years, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I appreciate that, man. Truly. I mean, I just one of the actors just said to me today, he was like, like what if, the Clownjuring goes to these movie theaters and it does all these big numbers, and I was like, I'm just gonna come back and bless all the actors, man, and just like randomly show up and just hand you like an extra 20 grand or 10 grand. And he's like, well, what about you, man? You always talk about everybody else. I said, for me, it's just knowing that there's more people out there saying, I'm looking forward to a Jody S film.
Yeah,
That's it. I like money
that's the
does
goal,
nothing for me.
right? That legacy.
Yeah, for
It's
sure. That's it.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got my little kid running around wanting to be a filmmaker and run this company one day now. So,
That's
you know,
crazy. And look at what you're building too to like pass on to him if he does want to go that route when he gets older. Like that's crazy.
it's his, bro. Yeah, it's already in my will, man. Like, like just planning ahead, like God forbid if something were to happen, like everything is his. I mean, he'll have his own equipment, it'll all be paid for, no debt. And you know, I've got 60 scripts sitting on a hard drive right here as I talk to you right now. This
Damn,
this hard drive, there are 60 scripts that I've written since 20
it's the
years
holy
old.
grail.
I'm 41 right now, bro. Like there's enough content there to have movies for the next 20 years.
Yeah, that's the holy grail, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that needs to be in a safe.
I got it backed up on a safe.
Okay, cool, cool. I was gonna ask, how do you think horror films compete with like the big studio productions?
That's a good question. I think that people are getting sick of, well, this is my opinion. Um I think people in the horror community and people that like scary content, I think they're getting sick of the commercial polished horror content. So you're starting to see more people go down the rabbit hole of Tubi. You're you're starting to see people want something they can't get from Hollywood, and what that is that's filmmakers who are breaking rules and saying, "Well, you say we can't do this, we're gonna do it." And like I've even heard Damien say in interviews before, he's like, I believe there's a line in horror that you shouldn't cross. And
Yeah.
he's like, but I like to get up to it. He said, I just won't cross it. Well, you're
Hmm.
starting to see a lot of people cross it, and you're starting to see a lot of fans want to watch people who cross it. It's not that they're deranged, it's not that they're sick, it's just that we watch these films because we want to go to a place that we're afraid to go to or would never go to in real life. Like I would never bungee jump.
Yeah.
Like I'm afraid of heights. I don't mess with it at all. Um, I don't even like flying, but you know, for me, these films they keep me on the edge of my seat, and that's good enough to where I can feel something that I can't get somewhere else.
Right. It's almost like an adrenaline dump, or what's that other word? Like a dopamine hit.
Exactly, 100%. I mean, that's what it is to me, dude. Like even my own films, like I make them, and whenever I see them put together, I'm like, I know something's fake. I'm the one that did the effect, but like just the way that it's sold, like it's like, wow, that's really cool. Because I know when somebody else sees that, they're gonna be like, no, what, dude? Did that just really happen? Like,
It's gonna be
you
fucking
know,
crazy.
yeah, and that's really cool that you can do that with like simple movie magic.
Yeah. But I think that's what magic is in general. You ever see like a street performer? They do it to get to see that reaction on people's faces. Like that's their dopamine hit. They do things to
Right.
kind of get that. You know what I mean? And that's your movie magic. Like you said it perfectly.
And I think that's the difference between indie and commercial, and like what we just talked about. I think money has a big difference too. Like anytime I get so happy when I hear people say like, "Hey, we're making a movie. We're going to use 200 grand," and I'm like, that still seems like an excessive amount to me.
Oh yeah.
But at least I know it's like, okay, you guys are going to have to do some really interesting stuff because you're hiring a big crew. See, with ours it's so different. Like I might only spend 10 grand to make a movie, but if you ever spent any time on set with me or like any actor that does, like literally I walk into the room, I give my pitch speech of, hey guys, we're getting ready to do this tonight, so get ready, just wait for directions. I'll light the scene, I'll direct the actors what to do, and then I'll frame up the camera, I'll set the lenses or whatever I'm doing, and then I'll yell action, and then 2 minutes later, I'm like, okay, pause, stay right where you're at. I come in, I do special effects, I jump behind the camera, and I say, everybody's moving on the count of three. Boom. I yell action, and then they respond to like the wound or being hit. And next thing you know, it's like, dude, did he just do all like 6 of these jobs?
Yeah.
And when it comes out and you see it, you would never know that. I mean, so like a lot of films, when they say they're spending 200 grand, it takes them 200 grand to do that because they got a guy doing effects, a guy doing lighting, a guy
Oh
doing
yeah.
camera.
Mhm.
So, you know, it's a little bit different for me, but when I hear that, at least I know like, okay, you guys still got some room to be creative. And I think that's what we look forward to in these films.
Yeah, man, I dig your style because I feel like your style is like you ever watch those like early 2000s horror films? I think a lot of indies came out of like the early 2000s, right? And they were
Oh yeah.
filmed in like a different time, so it was like they got away with a lot more stuff. And I think like you said it earlier, I think that's what a lot of horror fans nowadays are craving. That kind
Yeah.
of raunchy, like unfiltered, like they might go across the line because that's what people might want to see,
Right.
just, because it's crazy. And it's like everything comes back around full circle. And I think that's what you're doing. And I think that's really cool.
I appreciate that. I do, and I enjoy those early 2000 films, man. Sometimes we'll have months where we get on like an early 2000 binge or a
Oh,
90s
man.
binge, a 80s binge. Lately, we've been pretty much just like revisiting the Silent Hill movies because we're going to get a new Silent Hill movie finally. I'm so excited
Yeah.
for that. When it comes to video games, those are my favorite video games. I got all of them behind me back here.
Hmm.
Um, you know, uh, we've also been watching a bunch of stuff that like is just pretty much banned in the US. Like it would never be sold in a store. It would never like you rarely even see it on streaming services. So we've been like going out of our way to like buy those films to see like why are they banned? Like what's so bad? And some of them honestly like I don't even understand. Like they're not that
Yeah.
bad. It's all corn syrup, bro.
Hmm. Yeah. Corn
A
syrup
lot
and
of
like
people want to
watermelons and stuff.
100%. Actually, when I get off here with you, that's what I have to do. I got to go in there and make 3 gallons of blood for the shoot tomorrow.
Wow. That's crazy. You want to run us through how you make those?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty simple,
'Cause
man.
I've never even heard of how people make the blood. I've always just seen them use it as like a practical effect, but that's crazy.
I use Kiro syrup. I use red food coloring. Let's say I'm making a gallon of blood. I'll fill a gallon jug up with corn Kiro syrup, which is corn syrup.
Hmm.
I'll put maybe 16 drops of red in it, 1 drop of blue because blue is like very potent. It will expand majorly. But what it does is it gives the blood a nice, dark, rich color.
Yeah.
Uh, you mix that together. I add a little bit of coffee grounds and I add about a half a cup of cocoa. And when it's all said and done, like it's some of the prettiest blood you'll ever see on camera.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
love that. You mentioned earlier that you wanted to remake. What movie did you say again?
Wrong turn.
Wrong Turn. Yeah. What's another like movie that you would love to just remake?
Oh man, that's a great question. Well, I heard Adam Green say that he was done with Hatchet years ago, and he was
Really?
like, he said if somebody else wanted to take it on, that he would be cool with that. But he said he was done. He felt like he was done with it. So if it was possible, I would love to write a Hatchet film and direct it and do the special effects. Yeah,
That'd be badass, man. Damn, Hatchet would be crazy. I think
dude.
even Halloween is like that nowadays. I think anybody can make a Halloween movie.
Yeah, I have a special place in my heart for Halloween too, man. That's why when
Yeah.
you said that was one of your favorites, I'm like, okay, like you know, it's still in my top 10 for sure. I really loved like the 2000, I believe it was 2008. They brought it back with Jamie Lee Curtis and not really a remake or anything, but like they
Hmm.
just they just started stabbing away at it again, and I really enjoyed what they did with that. Except for like the last one, I thought it was like a little weird because we didn't get to see Michael the whole time. We got to see this crazy kid,
Yeah.
being his little. I
Deranged
don't
self.
know.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out, but like, I love the Halloween movies. I don't know if somebody told me they would let me do one of them right now and they would pay for it. I probably wouldn't touch it because I would hate to be the guy who fucks that up.
Oh yeah. I get that. The
Yeah.
Halloween is crazy.
But
That's
I will
wild.
say, like, if I ever get a chance to do a wrong turn movie, I've already got the idea for it. And I don't know, man. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I think that there might it's a possibility.
Really? And you said you're in like Alabama, right? Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, like there's like I have this really good intuition about things, and like a lot of things that like I've felt strongly about in my life, like I've seen they've come true, like maybe not right away, but like over time. And maybe what that could be is maybe it won't be wrong turn. Maybe I'll get to make a movie with people that were in that movie, or it could be something close, or maybe I'll make a movie that's like it. I do
Hmm.
have a script that I wrote. I won't say the name of it, but I will say like it's got elements of what a wrong turn movie would be. It's just called
Really?
something different. Yeah.
Hmm. That'd be crazy. Wrong Turn was your favorite? Mine was probably the Dead End, probably.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Like that in, but part four, Bloody Beginnings, man. Oh my god.
That
And
was the one in the asylum, right?
yes.
Yeah,
Oh
that was a
my
good one
god.
too. In the snow, that was a good one. Yeah.
Bro, I am obsessed with that film. I don't know if there's another film I've watched as much. Again, they have everything I look for in a horror film, and I think that's what it was like um
Different.
scary scenery, an asylum in the middle of nowhere, scary conditions. It was 20 below zero. Inbred killers trapped inside with you. There's people having sex everywhere. There's people getting killed. There's tons of blood and gore. It was like you have
And
the horror film mixture here. This is the ingredients.
yeah, and that one was different for me because it damn near made me feel bad for the killers at the beginning. Like they were trapped in the penitentiary and they were
That's
getting
funny.
fucked with for it's crazy. So that one
Yeah.
was different than all the other ones for me because I'm like, damn, I feel bad for these motherfuckers. But and then you see them go on their killing rampage and it's just like, damn, this is like you said, it's got it all.
I love that you've seen that movie. That yeah, I think this much more high of you now.
Yeah.
A lot of
That
people
one
have
was
not taken the
probably,
time to see that film, bro. Like I
dude.
rarely meet people that have even heard of it.
Hmm. Yeah, that one's up there for sure. I love that you said The Hills of Eyes. A lot of people haven't seen that. I'm like, that's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, great, 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 great film, man. The Hills Have Eyes too, unrated, amazing, amazing film.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I live and breathe this stuff, man. I love it, and I'm just looking forward to doing it until I die. And I think about that a lot, man. I'm like, if I have another 20 or 25 years, I want to make horror films for another 20, 25 years, and then just hopefully my kids, if they want to, and it looks like they will because they kind of live it and breathe it too. They'll pick up that torch and keep it going, and maybe Dean's Haunted Mansion Film Studios will be around in 50 years. You never know.
Oh, I'm sure it will, man. I'm sure it will. The horror community is always going to be there. And it's, like I said, I think it's just like how the style of the 80s is coming back to now.
Yeah.
I see that's how horror is being nowadays. Is the style of how horror was when it first started in like the 80s, the 70s or whatever. I think that style is coming back now, but with hints of like early 2000s, like deranged, like the craziness.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree. I mean, we're seeing a lot of as I mentioned earlier, like I got a retro game store in Dothan, Alabama. Like we like if I'm there or I'm not there, I hear stories all the time. There'll be like some 10-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid come in here and bought N64 games, and I'm like, this younger generation is adapting to where we came from, and they're wanting it, they're craving it, they're like asking and begging for like more of it. So I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more 80s style slashers, um you know, done by these new young minds in the game, man, and it's going to be a beautiful thing because that 80s vibe, you like did you see Lisa Frankenstein?
Of course, yeah.
I thought that was an incredible film. My wife, she loves that film. I never thought, like, when we were sitting down to watch it, I didn't think that was going to be like something that was I was going to love, but what I loved about it was they took the time from like the carpet to the drapes to their clothing,
Right.
like the music, like I felt like I was watching a film that truly could take place in the 80s, and I thought that was just that was so cool, man, and I want to see more of it.
Yeah, man. I think the 80s was just a different time. I was born in like 98, so I missed it by almost 20 years, but or 10 years or whatever, but oh yeah, 20 years. But it was just a different time, man.
Yeah, well,
But it's
you can live
interesting.
it through the movies now.
Yeah, right. You try to, but I definitely think it is coming back, but like with like a new twist. It's like modern retro almost.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's awesome, dude. I hope they keep it going. I mean, I have scripts like that. I plan on doing film. Dude, actually, we're opening a second store in November, and we sell a lot of retro vintage clothing. And if I wanted to make like an 80s slasher film, it'd be so easy. Like we could outfit everybody in the
Yeah.
snap of a finger. Like we got jackets that look like something Paul Abdul would have wore back in the day, Michael Jackson. Like we've got crazy stuff. Um
I
so I
love
mean
that.
that could definitely happen. I mean, we could even make it would look so accurate, screen accurate that it'd be scary.
That's dope, man. Which of your films was your favorite that you've made so far?
Definitely Mallet 2 was my favorite film that I've made so
Really?
far.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm proud of all the films I've done, but I think with this one, like what happened was when I dropped when I dropped this one, people liked it. I got great feedback, and this has sold more copies out of anything I've done so far. Like this is our heavy hitter.
Hmm.
But the one piece of feedback I got for that film was people were like, Jody, I know you're good at special effects. I've seen little things on Facebook and things you've done. I was hoping you were going to do a lot more. And I was like, you know what? If I do part two to this movie, I'm going to go crazy. And I did. And whenever I submitted it to film festivals, like immediately I was getting nominated for special effects, special effects, special effects. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so from here out, I will never hold back. I'm gonna just go in and just always when it comes to special effects, I love practical. I don't fuck with
Right.
CGI. I don't have anything against it. I like
Hmm.
watching movies with it, but I don't do it myself. Um, so from here out, yeah, when you see a Jody S. Dean film, you're always gonna get a lot of practical effects.
I love that. That was actually a question, but I just caught your vibe, and I'm like, he doesn't do CGI. It's all practical, and I'm like, I love that.
Yeah,
That's badass.
hell yeah.
Ruby
Yeah,
asked a really good question. She said, "Is there going to be more mallets?"
I just seen that, and it's so funny because I did write Mallet 3, but I don't know if I'm going to do it or if I don't know if I'm going to do it anytime soon. Since I created the character and I own the IP, I mean, I could come back 5 years down the road and just drop Mallet as if it was its first time, like a brand new thing.
Like a remake of
Yeah,
like the
like a
first.
remake. Um, I might do something like that. I did write a nice script for it, but like the first movie sold like 10,000 copies on DVD. The second movie did like right now it's sitting at 8. And I pretty much had said like if we sold more than we did on the first one that I would do part 2. And I want to make sure that there's a reason to have a part 3 because even though those are good numbers, like usually you wouldn't have 3 movies with those kind of numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I think 2 was sufficient for now, but I will say this, man. If like it goes viral later down the road, which you probably are familiar with how things do, like e-
yeah,
even my YouTube channel, like what blew me up was I had posted this one video. It only got like 500 views. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden, like 4 months later, it got like a million.
Yeah, it's crazy. It happens in like it's like delayed almost. It's weird.
Yeah. So I mean, if Mallet 2 just automatically out of nowhere one day just goes, batshit crazy, then we'll whip out part 3, no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Is there a subgenre of horror you haven't gotten to yet, but you want to?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it earlier, like the psychological thing. Like I want to do, because pretty much everything I've done so far has been like slasher films. Um, I want to do the movie I'm doing next summer is called The Devilry, and I wrote that like a year and a half ago, and it kind of skipped a bunch of scripts. And the reason why is because I think it's fitting to the times. Like it's a film that has to do with hauntings, demons, um, a house that has curses and stuff, and it's something different than what I've done. And I want to see myself, like I want to challenge myself and say, hey, can you step outside of this slasher genre and do something really unique? And I know I can, but like I look forward to that, because like where I'm used to doing like good blood and gore, like in that film, I got a demon that I'm creating from the ground up, like,
Mhm.
you know,
And there's so
conscious.
much flexibility in that and what and like the creativity you can do and like you said, if it's a house, I'm just picturing it already, like almost like that Be Quiet movie where they were messing with that old guy and they were trying to like be quiet around him and stuff, like
Right.
super psychological, like fucking with your head, but like there's so much flexibility you got with that. It's crazy.
I love it, man. Yeah, and when I look at the script, it looks so much easier than the stuff that I do now. So I shouldn't have any issues. If anything, I might knock it out of the park, just because, like, looking at the script, I'm like, wow, this is easy compared to what I usually do. Because usually when I end up on set, there's going to be a big kill scene. I mean, there's so much that goes into that. Like, just the special effects alone can be like an hour of prep time for a minute and a half shot.
Right.
So it shouldn't be too hard having doors slamming, windows closing, things hitting the ground, breaking in thin air,
Mhm.
and a woman levitating, which practical is a little bit harder, but like I've learned how to do it. So like you're gonna see some things in that film that I think you'll think you're watching a way bigger budget than what it is.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask, do you think horror fans are different than, like, other fans? I think so. I think we're kinda fucked up in the head already, and there's something in us that craves like that, like, sadistic, like, we wanna be scared, whereas other people maybe don't wanna be scared.
That's That's a great point. I do think that horror fans are unique, man. I think that we don't want to just like watch something and be done with it. Like we want to own the toys and the posters and the collectibles, and I
Mhm.
think that's why so much of them are coming to the market now, and they're existing. And NECA's getting behind um, all these toys, and they're bringing out these toys now that look like statues,
Oh,
because
yeah.
people can't afford the statues, so they buy the high quality toys for like 35, $45. And yeah, horror people, man, they don't know how to just watch something and say I'm done. Like they got to get a tattoo of it. Like we live and breathe this shit, bro. And I do think they're different than most people.
I think there's something beautiful in that because I see with horror fans specifically, like, out of any other group of fans out there, the most loyal fans you're gonna have because, like you said, they are gonna want the toy, they are gonna want the merch, they're gonna want the
Yeah,
hoodies, they're gonna wanna rep that shit to, like, because it is, like, something cool about that, right? Like, especially an indie film that it goes crazy like your shit, like, what?
yeah. I mean, you don't ever really see like you don't ever see anybody getting like romance comedies like tattooed on them, or
What?
buying those toys. Like that's non-existent pretty much. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, um that Barbie movie came out like last year or this year, I forget when it was, and
crazy.
um, there was like a little bit of hype following it, but like it's not like people just started collecting Barbies from this new generation. I don't
If
see
that
it
would
at
have
least.
happened, then yeah, that would prove what I'm saying to be not true, but it didn't happen, and you're absolutely right, and that it's already an established thing, you know what
Right.
I mean? Which is crazy.
Yeah, it is weird, man. Like this genre is so cool, dude. And I will say that like we are, or I secretly, like when I go to a place like Spencer's or Hot Topic and I
Oh
see their
yeah.
wall and I see these horror icons on the wall, I do have like this little fantasy in the back of my head that like one day I'm gonna walk in there and I'm gonna see one of my characters up there. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah. And I love that. Because it's like I think a lot of horror fans will do that exact same thing as Spencer's. You go in there and you get that little dopamine, and it's just like something comforting in that for whatever reason. It's like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm no hater, man. Like when I walked in there the first time ever, and I seen something for Terrifier, I was so proud for them. Like I was like, "That's great that you guys came from a short film to this, and I'm happy for you." And I've personally talked to everybody on that team except Damien, and um, I've told them how proud I am of them, and because I know what it takes, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've been there to where just 15 years ago, I was trying to scrape the money together to do a short film, and now here I am. I don't ask anybody for shit proudly because I've been at the bottom and it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks being creative and having something good and nobody to believe in you, and to go from there to being on the wall in an iconic store and having an icon is pretty amazing, man.
Do you think that's your goal is to have an icon like that? Do you want to like, because that's something you have all the creative control over. You can really make like a horror icon like go crazy. And like you said, it might not happen now, but it might happen in 3 years. You make the movie now and it
Yeah.
happens in 5 years. Like,
It's true. Yeah, because
yeah,
it took a while for them even. Yeah, I mean, I don't think about it a lot, but it's definitely crossed my mind. Like, man, it would be so cool if I did something that ended up becoming an action figure, or sold on T-shirts. Like when I go to Walmart and I see a Halloween T-shirt, I'm like, well, Halloween's so massive, bro. Like you're gonna have to really touch some souls in order to end up in a spot like that. But it's not unrealistic, like
it's not.
I is it possible? Yeah, and am I creative enough to make it? There's not a doubt in my mind or my family, and that's one thing I say is I got people around me that don't lie to me. I don't lie to them. I don't lie to myself, bro. Like I'll be the first person to tell you, like The Clownjuring is the first movie I've made that I feel is beyond worthy to go to theaters.
Hmm.
Um, these other films are good. They're good, but like I don't gas myself up, Like I don't say, "Oh, my shit's a 7 or on a scale of 1 to 10." Like I'm realistic, but I do know
Right.
this one thing that I have. Like my films are good indie horror films. They're not the indie horror films where you watch it and you're like, "Yo, we got to turn the shit." Like they don't care about how they're filming it. It's out of
Yeah.
focus. They're using music that 1,000 other people use. Like the acting is just terrible. Like I'll tell an actor straight up when I work with them and be like, it didn't work. I'm getting somebody else for the part, but thank you.
Hmm.
Like
I
not
love
trying to
that.
be mean, but like I'm just being real. Like this is my baby, and
Yeah. You got to
yeah.
look at it that way.
So yeah, but and my family will always tell me too. My wife has never looked at one of my films before and then looked me in the eyes and said, "You got a hit." And she looked at The Clownjuring and she was like, this shit's probably gonna go to the moon."
Yeah. I really hope
So,
it ends up here in Vegas, man. I'd love to go to that premiere. That'd be fucking sick.
thank you, man. I do too. I went to Vegas one time. It was my 21st birthday. I was there for 4 days, and the whole time change thing messed with me so bad. I remember I walked out of a casino and the sun was up, and I was walking out of the casino thinking that like it was still dark, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Yeah.
um, but not only that, I've had friends that have had their movies play out there, and they've got a lot of love, which is crazy. There must be a lot of people that love horror there that support creative
Yeah.
stuff, because one of the guys told me he didn't even know anybody in Vegas and it was weird even having the showing there, but he said it sold out.
Yeah. I saw the first Conjuring in an abandoned church. They had like a weird screening there, and they had
Wow.
like ambulances there and exorcists, like the Nevada exorcist that we have here in in our state.
Dude, that is
It was like
so
a whole
cool.
thing. It was
Oh
like a
my
whole thing.
god.
I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's incredible, dude. Damn, you just gave me some ideas here.
Yeah.
I,
I
I
saw
got some.
Jeepers Creepers, the newest one. They had like a one-time showing and a similar play. I think it was like a cemetery or something. Like they do that all the time, and I'm like, yeah, horror's super big out here.
I love Jeepers Creepers, man. I mean, that's another one that like the first film was just an incredible in my opinion.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
but that's another one that it would be cool to see it done right
yeah.
and done right again by the right person.
hmm My favorite was the first one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the second one I don't know what the hell happened. The third one was okay. And then
hmm
Reborn, I liked it. It got a lot of bad feedback. I haven't met anybody else that likes it. I think it was pretty decent, but
Yeah.
I you know, we expect a lot when you get to number 4. I think that's what it is.
Oh yeah. I think it's like what you said earlier. It's like there's a certain expectation when you get to like 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some movies get to pass, like the Fast and the Furious. They're about to go to the moon and shit. Like,
Good lord. Yeah.
it's crazy.
I'm excited that they're about to call it.
Yeah, me too. My goodness. That's cool. I'm excited for Conjuring now, though. I'm glad I got to talk to you because I'm really hoping to see that one now.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. And you'll have to, if you have a PO box or an address, you'll have to send it to me on Instagram, and I'll send you a free copy of one of these movies here.
Really? Oh, I love that,
Yeah.
man. Send me your favorite. Which one that you would want like to put on, you know?
I'll send you Mallet too. Yeah, you definitely got to check out Mallet too. I mean, they're all good films, dude. I wouldn't put out anything that I think sucks or I'm not
hmm
happy with. The reason I just released a physical copy of Don't Go on the Trail is because in 2012 I was not like over the moon about this. Like I in 2012 my standards were so high that I didn't
Yeah.
put out a physical copy. And I watched this like 4 months ago with my kids, and my kids was like, "Why didn't you put this out? Like it's
Yeah.
better than a lot of shit we've watched on Tubi." And
It's
like
crazy, right? It
and I'm
aged like
like,
wine.
you know what? Like when I watched it 4 months ago, I was like, for the time, it wasn't that bad. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put it out and see what happens. And like we just literally released it yesterday, and we've already sold like almost 100 copies. So
That's crazy. Yeah, I
yeah,
love that. And that was your first film too. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
which is really crazy because a lot of people were like, dude, I own all your films. I'm gonna grab this one just to make sure like I have them all. And that's cool that people even think like that.
It's
Like
crazy. Like that you have like there are people out there that have your movies on their movie shelf.
I love it, man. They'll send me pictures once in a while, and that's really cool. And they'll just, they'll send me messages and stuff, and it's awesome to hear how different people perceive different things too. Like how I write a film and the way I take it. Like I'll hear somebody else's opinion, like, shit, I wasn't even thinking about that. That's awesome. That you get all these different opinions and perspectives when people watch your stuff, and I think we'll start seeing a lot more people reviewing our stuff as they keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, we're still very much indie horror, but I think we're definitely in the conversation now. So
I love that. What's some advice that you would give like a new filmmaker that's trying to break through right now?
don't let money and people stop you. Um, I made Don't Go on the Trail. All I had was I had got a $10,000 settlement back then, and I spent every single dollar of it to get the equipment, the computer, the camera, the supplies for special effects to make the movie. And then all the actors that acted in it, I paid for their gas, their food. It wasn't a lot. I made it on bare bones, and people told me, "Don't do it. You can't do it. You got to use a better camera. You you need at least 50 grand." And I just did it. And the one thing I've learned, and this is for any filmmaker, whether you're making movies or music videos, make a product. if you don't have a product, it's hard to sell yourself to somebody. That's like your pitch. Like, I can actually go to somebody like a distribution company and I can say, maybe you haven't heard of me, but I made all these. I wrote them, I direct them, I filmed them, I edited them, I did this and that. It puts a little bit of respect on my name to say, well, shit, like, let's talk. Um,
Right.
so even if you only have one thing, make a product, man. I know a lot of people doing music videos for like recording artists now, and I've told some of them before, like how they got started was like, do a music video for free. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, do it for free. Like, get a product in your hand, and you'll be able to get more business that way. And or hell, make a music video for free, but say, hey, I'll make it for free, but I gotta play it on my YouTube channel, and you gotta sign
Mm-hmm.
something saying that you won't post it anywhere else for 6 months. So they might not pay you up front, but you get the revenue from that video.
Right.
Make a product, man, no matter what you're doing. If you're doing YouTube and you're trying to like make t-shirts, I mean, you deserve to make money, bro. Like, this shit is, I spend so much time making YouTube videos, running a store, doing all this stuff. I got to get paid, man. I mean, YouTube's free content. Like, when people make
Yeah.
YouTube videos, like, if people don't watch them, we don't get paid.
Right.
So maybe, my first year on YouTube, I dropped 5 videos a week, and I didn't made nothing. As soon as I dropped a t-shirt, people were like, you know what? I'll buy a t-shirt. And like, I started
Mm-hmm.
making like $500 a month from t-shirts.
That's crazy.
It was like, at least people like supported me some way, shape, or form. I had a product, and they're like, well, I believe in you. I can buy a $20 shirt.
I think that's
So
really good advice to like make a product and use that in any kind of sense of the way, like whether it be merch or your product and refining it to what you want it to be. Hell yeah.
yeah,
It's really
for
good
sure.
advice.
I mean, it's kind of fair too, like, I've had people occasionally on YouTube, they've been watching me for years, and they'll randomly all of a sudden donate. I've never seen them donate before, and they'll write me on social media, and they're like, I figured it was time to throw a dog a bone. I've been getting free content, like, hey, here you
Hmm.
go. And like, if you stick with it, no matter what you're doing, man, it's a numbers game. You'll break through. I mean,
Hell
you
yeah.
can't be denied when you scream.
Right. Exactly. And I'm looking forward to like I guarantee you this interview right here is gonna age like fucking wine because just know where you are right now, but like I guarantee you in like a matter of a few years we're gonna be looking back at this interview and be like, damn, I interviewed that guy. Like it's gonna be crazy.
I appreciate it, man, and I feel that same way too, because I feel this energy. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster right now, and the only thing that's gonna stop me is something catastrophic, man, or the devil himself. But like, I think that we're just putting out too many good vibes, and we're living too good for to
Right.
to, to go in another direction. And I hope, man, I can't wait to see where you're at in 5 years, bro.
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited for it too. I just started podcasting maybe like 9 months ago, so it's all fairly new, but I'm getting in there. But it's like you said, it's a numbers thing. The only way to lose is to not play.
That's
Especially in this podcasting space. So
Yeah,
absolutely, that's
100%.
really good advice you gave.
Yeah, well, it's true, man, and you seem like a nice young person, man. Got your head on straight, and come with respect and kindness, and honestly, you can't go wrong, man. So,
I appreciate that, man. Well, do you want to plug your stuff?
I know I pretty much have, but yeah, I'm just Dean's Haunted Mansion Film Studios. Is my film company. You can find that on Facebook, and a lot of people know me as YouTuber Hunting the Dead. I do some pretty wild stuff over there,
Yeah, your
uncomparable.
channel is huge, bro. Like 260,000. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like, I would have went live from there. I didn't even realize I was on this one when I went live.
Hmm.
We probably would have had a ton of fucking people in here, but it doesn't mean we can't
Oh,
try
it's
it
all
again
right.
in the future. So,
Yeah.
honestly, like, that kind of stuff doesn't mean nothing to me, bro. Like how you said, like, this will age.
Oh,
People
like
go down the
wine.
rabbit hole. And that means a lot more for people looking for horror stuff to go down the rabbit hole than people from my paranormal channel to go down the horror rabbit hole, because it's like they might be into the paranormal stuff, but everybody that's into the paranormal doesn't necessarily, it doesn't mean they're a horror fan.
Exactly. There is a difference.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll get the right people, the organic people that will come back and visit these things and learn about you and I both. So it's great.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Like, I'm glad I got to talk to you. Like, I've never, like I said, I've had a couple authors on, paranormal investigator, maybe a witch here and there, but definitely never a filmmaker. So,
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to you from both channels, dude. And yeah, if you ever see me posting something new in the future and you want to revisit it, I'm more than happy to. So
absolutely, brother. We're locked in. I got you on Instagram. Absolutely. I'm excited for the Clownjuring too.
thank you so much. No, I appreciate it.
Oh
And thank
yeah.
you for anybody and everybody that listened to this. And I look forward to seeing what you do. DeansHauntedMansion.com.
All right, brother. I'll catch you later.
All right, be good.